Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Firstly, my name's Jonathan and I look at tech news and tech companies and try and pass on as much information as I can to investors so they know what they're buying. And today the kind of main announcement was to do with General Motors and their kind of company or software company that's related to driverless cars, which is Cruise, because they have just announced a partnership with Microsoft and they have pledged to use Microsoft's Azure cloud platform in order to essentially power self-driving cars in the future. Now, I want to kind of go into Cruise, what it is. I want to look at kind of how this will affect General Motors, and I also want to have a look at how this could benefit Microsoft quite heavily in the future as well. So stick around. Firstly, we're going to have a look at what Cruise is. So I'm on the website just now, and I must say it's a very pretty website. It's got this nice video in the background, but let's not go too deep into that. It has just announced its partnership with Microsoft, which I'm sure they will be delighted with. And as you can tell, it is all about fully driverless cars. And that is highly futuristic, and it is very similar to what kind of Tesla is looking to achieve, and a lot of other electric car manufacturers and companies are looking to achieve. But enough about this. We are going to have a look next at the announcement. So here is the announcement on Microsoft's side. So they've announced the partnership with Cruise, and how that's going to benefit them is because Cruise, if it's a self-driving car manufacturer, it's going to require quite a lot of computing power. And for them, they have their Azure platform, and they can use this to not only market their Azure platform, but they can also make quite a lot of money from Cruise if Cruise requires quite a lot of computing power, which for self-driving cars, then yes, it will. And there's one part of this announcement I really want to focus on and kind of draw your attention to. To unlock the potential of cloud computing for self-driving vehicles, Cruise will leverage Azure, Microsoft's cloud and edge computing platform, to commercialize its unique autonomous vehicle solution at scale. Microsoft, as Cruise's preferred cloud provider, will also tap into Cruise's deep industry expertise to enhance its customer-driven product innovation and serve transportation companies across the globe through continued investment in Azure. So what this tells me is that Microsoft is using this as a marketing scheme for their cloud services, which they are still growing. They are not as big as Amazon and Amazon Web Services when it comes to cloud computing, but having an autonomous vehicle service use their cloud platform and it works really well, that's actually really good marketing. And even if they don't make a lot of money off Cruise from their cloud computing, which I'm sure they will still do, depending on how much this partnership affects it, like whether they offer a special rate based on the fact that they have a partnership, I don't know that. But even still, it's a win for Microsoft. But at the end of the day, the company that probably benefits most from all this is Cruise and, well, General Motors. General Motors has pretty much had quite a hard time recently just because of the switchover to popularity in electric vehicles, and with the growth of Tesla and Nio, they haven't really been able to keep up with the trend. And this partnership kind of puts them back in the race because they are pushing more towards an electric motor company, and a lot of people are kind of under the speculation that General Motors can't compete with Tesla. But if we actually have a look at the financials of General Motors compared to Tesla, General Motors has quite substantially more revenue and even more profit than Tesla. So I found this graph, which essentially is quite self-explanatory, which shows the difference in revenue of General Motors to Tesla over the past 6 years. So if you actually look at Tesla in green, has just been on a steady increase over the past few years, and it's been growing in popularity, whereas General Motors has been on a very slow decline. So this partnership, the announcement of this partnership, can't really come quick enough. Because it gives General Motors the opportunity to now compete. And General Motors does have the advantage that it is still more profitable than Tesla. It still has a higher profit, and it also has higher revenue. which will allow it to kind of push a bit further into Tesla's market in the future. Now, it may not have the same brand that Tesla does in the electric car manufacturer market, but it does have other brands. It has Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, I think is how you say it, and other ones like Hummer as well. I think it also produces Vauxhalls over in the States. But yeah, it's still got that brand, and it's got the car brand that a lot of people have grown up with. So when it starts to produce electric vehicles, it's got that trust that was built up for generations. And you can actually see it's started to have an effect on their, well, stock price, because it's got this new partnership. People are kind of coming around to the idea of General Motors starting to produce electric cars. Now, this could actually be a good option in the future. It's not really something that I would probably go in for, but yeah, in terms of looking at it in the long term, General Motors is starting to, well, push into Tesla's kind of monopoly at the moment. Today alone, they're up almost 10%, which is not bad. But in my opinion, it does actually have the revenue to support a higher stock price, because even though it makes more money than Tesla, I think the value of Tesla is almost 10 times more. You can actually see the market cap here of 78 billion, and then you have a look at Tesla and the market cap is almost 800 billion, whereas GM makes more money. So that's quite interesting, to say the least. But that's what I mean. People have invested in Tesla under the fact that it has the potential in the future. But now, bigger car manufacturers are starting to essentially move into Tesla's market, and they are trying to compete, and they are, well, going to compete because they have the resources to compete. And what really surprised me about the announcement today is the fact that you have probably quite a lot of hardcore Tesla fans who are just like, oh yeah, General Motors can never compete, so they just plow some more money into Tesla. And that kind of looks like why Tesla's price is going up as well, with this announcement. But yeah guys, that brings us to the end of the video. I do hope you have enjoyed and found it informative, and if you are looking into General Motors as an investment, please go and have a look at the announcement and have a look at the different companies and different options that you may have as well. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good night.